many hearts have you broken with those great big beautiful eyes? Those great big beautiful eyes that tell such beautiful lies.
How many times have you kissed somebody like you kissed me then? I don't.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all ships at sea. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you an important message from the Prepared Mind Network.
Fake carrots! Fake fruit! Fake! Fake! Fake grapefruits! Fake! Liar! You liar!
And that is the President of the United States, a complete and total liar. Oh, the border is secure. Well, I can't do anything about the border. Well, now I can do something about the border if you give me money. Well, I can't really do anything about the border. Well, now I want $1.7 trillion for the border. That's all bullshit, folks. Get this. Get this. Joe Biden's America, you want to know what kind of America they want? Well, get this, folks. Follow me here, camera guy. An illegal alien from the South American country of Venezuela. Guess what happened? Up in the state of Virginia, this illegal Venezuelan sack of shit has been arrested for sexually assaulting an underage girl. Are you surprised? I'm not. I've been warning folks of children and women getting raped by these minorities that come from other countries that have no understanding or idea about our law and look at America as a fruited plain to destroy, plunder, and literally rape. Literally rape. There's one right there. How about this? Immigrations and Customs Enforcement has arrested a Guatemalan. Not Venezuela. Now it's a Guatemalan. Number 2 for the day. This illegal alien allowed in the country by Joe Biden and Mayorkas and the Border Patrol, who have no sense of national pride. They allowed our country to be fucking invaded. They've arrested a Guatemalan convicted of what? Does anybody know? Anybody at all? Okay, here's what this Guatemalan sack of shit did. Sexually assaulted a child under the age of 14. Another model citizen, right? No, not a citizen, not a model human being. But it gets worse, folks. A local court in Massachusetts has decided to release a child rapist who is an illegal alien. Unfucking believable. Just release him. Fuck it, who cares, right? And it gets better. No, it's not over. It is not over. Not in the least. Not in the least. Welcome to Joe Biden's America. Are you prepared? Get ready for this, folks. First Venezuela, then Guatemala, now Honduras. Honduras, a third country. I'm not repeating the stories, folks. This is 3 stories about illegal crimes, rapes, murders, etc. in just one day. This Honduran illegal alien who invaded our country is here unlawfully, screwing us all over, has raped a 14-year-old girl and stabbed a man in the face multiple times. I'm disgusted. Absolutely fucking disgusted with the Democrats, with their policies, with leaving this country open to destruction. But I'm not done. No, I'm not. There was a man who was arrested in connection with a toddler's murder, okay, is an illegal immigrant. I think I covered the toddler's murder yesterday. A New Jersey judge ordered him to be removed from the country, but the sanctuary city folks protected him and kept him here. More murder from illegals. Bring it on. Don't send them out of the country. Don't send them home. Don't deport them. Keep letting them in. Clearly, folks, this is exactly what the Democrats want for our country. This is what Biden wants for the country. This is what Mitch McConnell wants for the country. This is what Gavin Newsom wants for the country. This is what Nancy Pelosi, Hillary, Obama, Christopher Wray, Merrick Garland, this is what they all want for this country, to have open borders for these sleazebags to come in here and rape and assault and rob and murder. Zero penalty, zero accountability. This is all going, folks. Nobody in Congress is being held accountable. Nobody in the White House, nobody in the administration, nobody in the bureaucracy, nobody at the state level, nobody at the city level is being held accountable for letting these people in and what they're doing to this country. Are you prepared for this to get worse and to get nasty and to go Mad Max? At some point, it's going to have to. Because the more these illegals pour up here, they will go to cities. They will find other illegals. They will form gangs, unite the gangs, and go on fucking rampages of murder because there are not enough cops here to do anything about it. There are not enough brave cops here to go after these people because they're going to be outnumbered and outgunned. We are going to have drug and prostitution cartels running wildly through our fucking country. It's unbelievable. Get your thoughts down below. Get your questions down below. We've got a great audience today. We are live on the preparedmind.club, live at subscribestar.com. Get it in, folks. Get in what you want to talk about. Because in approximately 20 minutes, I'm going to turn the show over to you, and you get to tell us what we're going to be talking about. And I want to thank you for putting your thoughts out there. Literally putting your thoughts out here so we can all discuss them and think about it. And I can't say enough, folks. I was absolutely disgusted today as I went through my day and I checked the news and I kept finding more evidence of hardcore, vicious, illegal alien crime, robbery, assault, attempted murder, and rape. And that's just the stories I'm finding, folks. These are just the stories that I'm finding. I'm not even having to look all that hard. Literally. By the way, I want to remind everybody that Italian television and Middle Eastern television, they are now going out daily with parodies of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris as being completely mentally deranged, incompetent, and fools. The whole world sees it. The whole world is now laughing as they create jokes about the American government in Washington, D.C. It's really not even our government as Americans. It isn't. That Washington, D.C. does not in any way represent me. Now, Darcy T has sent us this, and I thought I'll change gears a little bit here, and let's do this. That's right, Dr. Grouchy's Jim Jones juice. And Darcy T says, hey, guess what? The royal families are not immune from playing. Let's take a wild guess. The son-in-law of Prince Michael of Kent in Britain, Thomas Kingston is his name, has died at 45. And it was a great shock. By the way, Thomas Kingston is royal or aristocratic, if you wish. The emergency services were dispatched to the scene where he was pronounced dead at Buckingham. Well, Buckingham Palace has announced this. They're not immune, folks. They want to play the game, right? You want to play stupid, you're going to get stupid. Fuck around, you will find out. Now get this, folks. At UC Berkeley, the birthplace of the peace, man. Peace and freedom. Remember the fucking hippies from the 1960s into the 1970s? They were peace. They were beatniks, nicknamed peaceniks. It was all about peace, man, and free speech and objecting to government authority. Well, at UC Berkeley, pro-Palestinian thugs, that's right, folks, terror supporters in America were doing what? They were threatening and assaulting Jewish students. If you threaten somebody in order to achieve a political end, that is terrorism. And if you use violence to achieve a political agenda, that is terrorism. So these pro-Palestinian thugs are actually not protesters or supporters. They are terrorists. They threatened and assaulted Jews, trying to get them to leave. So, well, because of the crowd that was large and violent, the Jews ended up evacuating the building through tunnels at UC Berkeley. I find that fascinating. I didn't know we had tunnels under our buildings. I thought tunnels were only under buildings in the Middle East, where people apparently have been tunneling for not just decades, but hundreds of years. But here we are, folks. Terrorism in our country, coming from illegal aliens, coming from, well, pro-Palestinian thugs, and coming from the offices of Democrat politicians. Am I wrong? Did I miss the definition of terrorism? Did I read that wrong? I don't know, folks. Get in your comments, please, your questions. I want to know what you're thinking. I saw a lot of news today, folks, but there is so much going on from broadcast to broadcast to broadcast. Zero Dark 30 this morning till now, I can't keep up with it. What have you run into? Okay, thank you, Mr. Uman. Well, let's go back to the Jim Jones juice, the Pfizer files. I got another one from you from Darcy T. Take a wild guess, folks. Buddy Duress, an actor, died age 38. And he died from some kind of a drug cocktail. Well, what happened was his heart failed. With cardiac arrest, his heart fucking exploded. How many more people assume room temperature that we're not hearing about? Once again, we try to bring up celebrities, important people, if you wish, sports athletes, super athletes, because they are more notable and people pay attention when they hear about them. They couldn't give a shit if someone like me died from the Jim Jones juice. What would be most suspicious if I died from the Jim Jones juice? The suspicious part would be I didn't take it. So there's no reason for me to have died from it. So let's bounce back over to pro-Palestinians from the Pfizer files. Well, you want genocide? You want Jews gone from the river to the sea or whatever? A singer, folks, named Charlotte Church. She sounds not Arab, not Middle Eastern. Charlotte Church sounds like an American kind of name. Well, she leads a choir, and this choir has other, just singers, including children singers. Now, what song did Charlotte Church lead the choir in? Well, she led her choir to sing a genocidal song demanding the eradication of the nation of Israel. Genocide much? Folks, if the left and the radical leftists, everything they believe is a religion, which is why you need to be fully prepared. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. If you don't have it together, folks, you're going to be caught by surprise. If you're not paying attention, you're going to be caught by surprise. And if we all don't start talking and speaking up, other people are going to be caught by surprise, and this country is going to fall apart. It's already coming apart at the fucking seams. Unbelievable. Now, I want to take a fucking quick break. I got a coffee cup from coffeefee.com. I wanted to share it with you. This one says deporable. So they sent me a deporable coffee cup, and their website is www.coff-fee. It's coff-fee-fee.com. Anyways, cute cup. I long ago gave up on collecting coffee cups. Maybe I'll give that away to somebody. But just want to plug that coffee company again. Jolene has worked out with them to get a discount, a Prepared Mind discount. We don't have like an affiliate link number, but hopefully she'll get the discount code. It'll probably be something like Prepared Mind 1 or Prepared Coffee or some shit like that. But I can get you a discount. And that's really the whole idea, folks, is to support patriots, support Americans, and get you the best product at the best price. I love my coffee, folks. Every morning I love it. Anyways, let us continue, shall we? Shall we? Okay, what do we got? We got lots of time because I've got a shit pile of stuff to talk about. I talked about this morning. Apparently, 1/3 of Democrats and 1/3 of Republicans say that the First Amendment goes too far with free speech. That our rights guaranteed by the First Amendment, they're just a little too extreme. Well, unfortunately for these fucking dunderheads, you can't just vote out the Constitution. Now, what is going to be shocking and worthy of a revolution would be if they can manage to get 2/3 of Washington, D.C. to vote. I'm talking about the Republicans in the House and the Senate. They would need super majority, folks. Or is it just the Senate? I don't think it's just the Senate. It's got to be the House and the Senate. Super majorities of both to do a constitutional amendment. Now, understand this, folks. Back in the 1920s, 100 fucking years ago, the idiots in Congress, under extreme political pressure from a bunch of Victorian prude bitches, decided to make alcohol illegal with prohibition, a constitutional amendment outlawing alcohol. I tell you what, there's no fucking way in hell that's happening again. There's no way in hell I'm going to allow the First Amendment to go by and just pass away. What's shocking to me is that there is a huge number of Americans who don't understand the Constitution and the point of free speech. Once you lose any of your rights to speech, they'll take all of the rights to speech. You will not be able to criticize. You will not be able to ask questions. You will not be able to question the judgment. You won't be able to speak an opinion, because once speech becomes a crime in any way, it all becomes a crime. And I have a complementary story to that. A complementary story to that. And I'll get to that here in a little bit. Let's go with Shit, what do I want to go with, man? There's so much here. So much. So much. Fuck. Let's go with this one. Let's just have some fun. I got this. There's so much going on. CNN, the most trusted name in news, they say. CNN noted, uncomfortably noted, that uncommitted voters in Dearborn, Michigan, in the Democrat Party, in the Democrat primary, uncommitted voters beat Joe Biden. I want you to think about this. People had a choice to vote for Joe Biden or uncommitted, meaning I don't know who I'm going to vote for. And more people in Dearborn, Michigan, which is not a small place, folks. It's a large place. More people voted for uncommitted. Now, Joe Biden, we were told, after barely campaigning in 2020, after hiding in his fucking basement and taking naps in 2020, got 91 million votes. More than anybody in history. More than an incredibly, shall we say, popular Trump incumbent president in 2020. Joe Biden stole votes. Well, quite literally, but 91 million, most popular vote ever. And now he's losing 4 years later to uncommitted. Not even a fucking name. He lost to a fucking adjective, folks. Uncommitted describes a voter. He lost to an adjective. Holy shit. That's not even a fucking pronoun. An adjective is lower than a pronoun. Fucking hilarious. You know what CNN's response was to Joe losing to uncommitted? So that's a wow. That's what they said. So that's a wow. Yeah, it is a fucking wow. Especially when you look back, and we're supposed to believe that 3.5 years ago, Americans were so enamored with Joe Biden that they came out and voted for him like they have never voted for anyone. Even more popular than Obama. This is where we're at, folks. The lies, the absolute lies. In fact, in Wisconsin, the Republicans on the ground, not the big shots, not the silk suit lawyers that are supposed to be representing the Republican Party state to state. It is, I guess you could call them street warriors, street fighters, patriots, folks, have shown all Republicans across the country how to win. And it isn't by stuffing ballot boxes. It's by challenging addresses. Don't challenge the voters. Don't challenge the number of votes. Challenge addresses and have them disqualified. An address where there are 10 different, 20 different, 100 different people registered, disqualify the address. Addresses do not have rights. Addresses do not have rights to vote. Addresses cannot be disenfranchised, but addresses can be shown to be invalid, false, and therefore illegal. They're doing it right now, folks, in Wisconsin. They're out there challenging addresses, and they're winning. This needs implementation, folks. It works. We need more Republicans fighting these bastards this election season. I really hope that people with, well, resources can get this done. We've got one hell of a fight in front of us. Free speech is a huge part of it. Use your free speech. Like my mother used to say all the time, use it or lose it. Use it or lose it. Unfucking believable. Literally, folks. Now, who are we up against? We are up against some of the biggest. When I started calling Democrats sacks of shit. Sacks of shit. They're actually worse than that. Right? So here we go, folks. The Democrats once again clearly projecting. Now, I talked about Representative, I think it's Dan Goldman. Is Dan or David, one of the two. Anyways, this dumb son of a bitch, Democrat representative, has accused the Republicans of, quote, working for Russia because they called Hunter Biden to testify in Congress. So if you call Hunter Biden a crackhead, a crack smoker, a drug user, a stoner, a user of prostitutes, a shakedown artist, if you ask him, if you demand that he show up and testify about the millions of dollars that have gone into the Biden cartel's bank accounts, then you must be working for Russia. That is clearly, folks, a bunch of shit. Well, it's okay. Democrats, aka socialist anti-Americans, they project on other people what they are or would be doing. Right? The sack of feces, folks, the Democrat slime ball, who apparently, allegedly takes steam baths with Representative Adam Shitty Schiff. He's trying to paint conservative Americans like me and you as tools of the enemy. We, meaning you and me, all of us, we need to get people to watch this video, internet address. We need to get people to wake up and then prep to action. Get prepared and then take action. We need to be very loud, First Amendment, and call out Democrats, not really for being Russian assets, but for being anti-American butt pirates and for being traitors to our nation. And they are blatantly in our face with it. And folks, as far as I'm concerned, they deserve and have earned the harshest of penalties. And they get zero sympathy, folks, zero trust, and zero belief ever again. The Democrat Party is so anti-American. It should be criminal. Literally. They should be criminalized for being as anti-American as they are. And they hate us as much as I hate them for being anti-American and for wanting you to be destroyed, you to be taxed, your property taken, your rights stripped, your wives and your daughters raped by illegals. If they didn't want it, folks, they wouldn't make it happen. Yet it's happened. It's still happening. It's going to continue to happen. And the Democrats think it's cute. They want this to happen. To me, that makes them a willing accomplice in a crime of treason against our nation. These people, folks, are fucking nuts. You want an example of how nuts these leftists are? Did you catch the story yesterday about the U.S. Air Force? That's right, folks. An enlisted Air Force person set himself on fire in front of the Israeli embassy. His social media account was discovered. And this guy is an anarchist. That's right. He's an anarchist. In other words, he doesn't want law and order. Does that sound like the Democrat Party? They don't want law and order. They want lawlessness. That's why they invited lawless illegals in. He advocated the disarming of our military. And he told, in one of his rants, I guess, he told Jesus to fuck off. Now, clearly, folks, this guy is a left-wing anarchist military sellout. If you want to disarm America, why would you join the military? Well, he joined the Air Force. But he's there in the Air Force, folks, just like everyone else who's in the Air Force, the Navy, the Army, and yes, even the Marine Corps. They are there to destroy the Army and the Marine Corps and weaken our national defense. Plus, this guy's a communist. Communist anarchist, folks. They want to destroy your country to introduce their idea of government. It's not going to go away. They are not going to go away. It's just going to get worse. So here we go. It is now your turn. Get your questions in. Mr. Uman will put them up on the screen. Thank you, Mr. T, for all the great media material that you provided. Mr. Uman, what do we have? Where are we going to start today's afternoon? It is Village Idiot. He says, I'm smelling torches and seeing pitchforks in our futures. Yes, indeed. It doesn't take a great psychic to see what is coming. And I think when we say torches and pitchforks, while we know that's a euphemism or an analogy to describe the attitude, behavior, and actions of an irate civilian population, that's where we're going. Except in America, we don't have torches and pitchforks. Even our farmers do not have torches and pitchforks. We all have guns. Millions of guns. Billions of rounds of ammunition. And I'm sure a large percentage of the Americans that own said guns would be more than willing to dispatch the enemy from our country. Can you imagine the hurried footsteps of millions of illegals if they were being shot at? Get out of our country. Would the Democrats supply buses to bus them back to Eagle Pass? To bus them back to Tijuana, Mexicali? Would they? Or would they just let them fight their way down? That would be another United Nations human catastrophe, right? If all the illegals wanted out of this country right now because Trump wins the election and Americans say, get the fuck out. You're not allowed to stop. You can't squat in property. You have no rights. You're illegal. Period. Get the fuck out. That's, I'm telling you, Village Idiot. I'm telling you. I smell it too. I smell it and it stinks. Thank you very much, though. Great topic. Great topic. Start using the expressions, folks. Don't be violent. Don't call for violence. Anything harmful and dangerous. Just speak fact. Torches and pitchforks are in our future. The government is not doing its job. In fact, the government is doing everything it can to hurt us, and we have a right as the people to get rid of any government that violates our rights, any government. And it doesn't have to be through the election process. We have the right as the people to go to any government building and remove them. Now, there is not a clear process for doing this, but it has happened in the past across this country in various places when local governments have been so corrupt that the people no longer will live under it. They have gone in of and for themselves and removed government officials and law enforcement. It is not out of the realm of possibility that this can happen on a national basis, that can be started in one city and spread to the rest of the nation and remove every last scumbag from office. And since they think it's cute to go to our houses and take our property, our money, you will own nothing and you'll like it. Why wouldn't we go to every politician who has enriched themselves at our expense and take their property from them freeze their assets and their bank accounts. Oh, to tar and feather them would be fucking glorious, would it not? Would it not? To see a bunch of carpetbaggers with environmentally friendly tar on them and covered in feathers. Tarred and feathered, everyone would know who they are. No home to go home to. You can go down to the homeless shelter, you bunch of fucking Democrat politicians. It can happen. There's a war coming, I'm telling you, and it's going to get fucking nasty as fuck. Torches and pitchforks, baby. Thank you, Village Idiot. Thank you, everybody. Now, Mikey G brings up this one, and I want to thank you, Mikey, for this. He says, one little bright spot. Mitch Turkey Neck, Mitch Turtles McConnell is retiring. Better late than never. Turtles McConnell, Shitstain McConnell, is the leader of the Republican minority in the Senate. He has been leader of the minority, and he has also been leader of the majority in the past. He has never gotten anything done for this country, though he has made sure some of his constituents have benefited in his state. He is a pile of shit. And I'll tell you what, he is frozen up twice like a bad automaton, a bad robot, a facsimile of a human who is literally frozen. In front of a microphone and camera. How many times is Mitch, shit-stained Mitch, frozen? Not in front of cameras where no one else could see it and realize it. Oh, so now he wants to retire? I don't think so. I don't think we should allow him to retire. He should have to spend the rest of his life living inside Washington, D.C. Look at all the shit this son of a bitch has caused. Look at all the crap he's let the Democrats get away with. Look at all the lies, the cheating, the fucking stealing that he's been a part of. And now he wants to take his money. How many millions and tens of millions of dollars has Mitch and his wife and his family made while the rest of us have paid higher taxes and had to eat shit from the federal government? Oh, I'm not calling for rebellion, folks. I'm just saying rebellion's going to happen. I'm not calling for violence. I'm just saying torches and pitchforks will be coming. Mad Max, hot spots of shit hitting the fan. And Mitch wants to leave and go back to his little precious home. I mean, didn't Mitch's sister-in-law drown in her Tesla in a pond in Texas a couple weeks ago? Any investigation there? Any connection, Mitch? We're going to let Mitch, what's he going to do? Leave with his wife and go back to China? Now that he's fucked America over? Yeah, I'm glad he's retiring. But at the same time, Mikey, I think he should have to live in Washington, D.C. You can't leave. Sorry, Mitch. You've made a career and a life out of living in D.C. and fucking us. So you don't get to leave. You can retire from your position of authority, just like other Republicans who don't want to stick around and deal with the fucking mess they created. Folks, and that's why I tell you, you've got to be prepared because of the mess these jackasses have created. And then they're going to leave and have a whole new batch of politicians come in and say, we think that you have too much free speech. We need to start cutting that back. Well, sorry, the First Amendment is the First Amendment. And even if they fucking manage to produce a supermajority and vote out the First Amendment, guess what? We don't have to fucking listen. My rights are not up for a vote. And unlike alcohol, which takes some skill to create, free speech comes out of my mouth really fast and easy. Go ahead and outlaw free speech, and I'll tell you what. I'll be yelling at the people who want to come and arrest me, and they'll be met with a hostile attitude. Sure, at that point, fuck it. If they're going to outlaw free speech, that means they can turn anything you say or think or do into a criminal act. And if that's the case, then you have no protection, folks, from government and its abuse. Zero protection. When you can no longer question the king or speak your mind, you are no longer free. And I would rather die than live as a fucking slave, especially to these losers. I mean, I could see, look, some dude bigger than me, stronger than me, meaner than me. I could see someone like that just fucking dominating and beating the shit out of me. Okay, fine. I'm not going to let a bunch of these fucking candy-ass butt pirates tell me what I have to say and think and do. Fuck them. That's all I've got to say on that. Fuck them. Okay, now. Am I ranting? Probably. Deservedly so? Absolutely. Are you prepared? I sure hope so. Mr. Uman, where are we going next? We got Barking Wolf Spider. Says not all of them got the good stuff. Guess we are going to find out who's not in the clique, who's not in the club. Well, that's right. What he's talking about here is the royal, the aristocrat in jolly old England who, well, possibly died from the Jim Jones juice. We don't know for sure. But yes, not everybody is going to be allowed in the club. He is a third-rate aristocrat. Third rate. There's a good chance that he didn't get a placebo. There's a good chance he got the actual mRNA jacking juice. And it's awful, folks. Like I said, I had a friend who died from that shit. I've had other friends I've seen almost killed by it. I mean, the friend of mine who's black was 3 shades of fucking white sitting on a curb outside his residence with an ambulance sitting out front going, what the hell is wrong and what's going on with you? When you see a black man, folks, who's shades of white because he's not getting oxygen because he's all fucked up from the Jim Jones juice, what do you think? Unbelievable. Thank you, Barking Wolf Spider, very much. Lots to talk about, folks. Lots going on. This is not a simple problem we're dealing with. We are dealing with the worst, the absolute biggest arch enemy of freedom. All branches of government, both political parties, Washington, D.C., absolutely corrupt. The bureaucracy trying to fuck us over. All the way down to local policemen enforcing laws that are unconstitutional. Where do you think this country's going? You think shit's going to get better? You think it's just going to solve itself? You think the illegals are just going to learn their lessons? You think government is going to be, oh, you know what? We just realized we need to be nice to you people who are paying the bills. Not a fucking chance on any of those. It's going to get worse. Okay, Mr. Uman, we got about 15 minutes left. Let's see what else we've got up there. And it is Mr. Chin Music. And he says, hey, what's this woof? Dr. McCullough. Dr. McCullough is one of the doctors out there who has consistently and persistently provided information through various right-wing, various alternative, various media outlets, trying to get the word out, the cure out, the help out there. Dr. McCullough said a lot of it is related to certain lots and vials that were produced in batches. In other words, the problems coming from the Jim Jones juice is kind of like playing Russian roulette. Certain lots were bad, other lots were really bad. Like bad, like fucking kill you right now, bad. Russian roulette, folks, is taking a pistola, a wheel gun, a revolver. Typically, they have 6 cylinders, where the cylinder has 6 chambers. You put in 1 round, give it a spin, slam it into position, pull the trigger, see who gets the bullet. You got 1 in 6 chance. If it doesn't go off, the next one is 1 in 6. Eventually, it will go off. That's what Russian roulette is. I don't know which vial I'm going to get from which lot and which batch. I can't trust my doctor. They can't know shit. Tell you what, I'll just fucking pass all the way around. Thank you, Mr. Chin Music, and thank you for the picture today. It's just diabolically good, folks. Get out there and make a difference. Piss off. Trigger the left wing. Help other people realize who the problems are. The problem isn't me. The problem in this country isn't you. The problem is all the criminals. Do you know that New York City and Mayor Adams are trying to change their status from sanctuary city to something else? I didn't know that there was a fucking right or authority and power within a city to call itself a sanctuary city, as if that is some special statutory fucking term which allows you to violate the laws and not enforce the rules. Well, they're so fucking broke and so stupid that New York City is no longer going to be a sanctuary city. How appropriate is that, folks? Good golly. All right. Thank you very much. And now let's continue, shall we? Mr. Uman, I was wondering when I was going to get something from you. Uman's statement is, in addition to all the tech layoffs, Bloomin' Brands, which is the parent company of Outback and others, Bloomin' Brands is closing 41 locations across the country. Underperforming locations due to bad economy and higher minimum wages. Well, how about that? Well, we've had a lot of tech layoffs. That is to say, computer companies, software companies, internet companies have been laying off people by the tens of thousands. But don't worry, those people are going out and getting 2 or 3 part-time jobs to try and make up the difference. I find that unfathomable in today's day and age. That people, well, I guess they're going to have to. How many of us, folks, end up working ultimately 10, 12, 16 hours a day to make ends meet, to do what you have to? Now, Matt, if I had to have 2 jobs, I wouldn't be able to be here right now. I hope and pray I don't have to get 2 fucking jobs just to keep the lights on and keep the pantry full of Spam and tuna fish and scotch. You guys have done a great job of making sure I don't have to go out and get 2 jobs. But Bloomin' Brands is a restaurant chain or a restaurant franchise. So, yeah, they've got Outback and other restaurants shutting 41 locations. You know what that means? It means we're in a fucking recession. Restaurants expand and open more restaurants. More franchisees are sought. More people investing in a good operation. When people don't have enough money, when they've run out of money, they quit going out for dinner. I don't think I've been to a fucking Outback Steakhouse in years. I know it's been years. Unbelievable. Now, Uman cites underperforming locations due to bad economy and higher minimum wages. That brings me to another story, Mr. Uman. In California, Governor Gruesome Newsom, communist sleazebag, he has exempted Panera Bread, Panera Bakery, from California's new $20 an hour minimum wage law. Can you imagine that shit, folks? 20 fucking bucks an hour minimum wage. Minimum wage, 20 bucks an hour. Well, for everywhere except Panera Bread. Why is Panera Bread exempt? Why? Could it be because the CEO of Panera Bread, donates to Gavin the Joker Newsom's campaign. Folks, understand this. This is how fascism works. Fascism. Businesses give large sums of money to government. Government gives businesses special privileges and contracts to make more money. So when they get contracts and make more money, then they turn around and give more money back to politicians. And politicians go, well, thank you for giving me even more money. Now we're going to give you more contracts and more business and more privileges. And it goes back and forth, back and forth. Businesses to government, businesses to government, government to business, business to government, government to business, business, government, government, business, 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 government, government, business, business. Oh, did I mention where the people are at in this? Well, government and business are up here. The people are down here fucking suffering and getting their asses kicked. They can't even afford to go to Outback and get a stinking bloomin' onion. And that is 2024 socio-eco-political news. Thank you, Uman. I appreciate that, dude. Very good topic. Go back to a barking wolf spider. He says $15 per hour is equitable now. That can't be wrong. Well, it's $20 in California. $15 per hour is equitable. What is equitable? It means fair. Who determines what fair is? Well, fair is not legal. Fair is not lawful. There is no maxim of fairness when it comes to pay. What there are market forces. There are economic factors. There are monetary limitations, but there is no law for equitable fairness. So now we have legislatures. Different states are passing minimum wage, saying this is what it needs to be. We're going to be fair. So yeah, how can that be wrong? Left-wing politicians deciding what is and isn't fair, what is and isn't allowable free speech, what is and isn't the meaning of the Second Amendment. These people, folks, don't know what a fucking woman is and can't define what a woman is. They can't. Yet we're going to let them tell us how much money we have to give them, how much money you have to pay some derelict who is not qualified to do anything except flip burgers. Folks, in high school, I flipped burgers. I worked at a little family restaurant, and I was the nighttime cook at this little family restaurant. Made comfort food, hamburgers, chicken dinners, steaks. Nice little restaurant. I was worth exactly what I got paid. Minimum fucking wage way back then. Was it $3, $4 an hour, whatever it was? Because I was a kid and it was a low skill job. I had to be able to know, let's see, take the bun and put some sauce on it, and then tomato and lettuce and a pickle and some onions, and then a burger with or without cheese or bacon. Then put the bun on top of it, put some French fries next to it, put it up on the thing, hit the little bell, here comes the waitress. I was qualified for that. Minimum wage. Now it's, man, I went to school. I went to college. And even though I'm not really qualified to do anything with that bullshit degree, I should get a living wage. And here we are. The country is overrun and crawling with illegal rapists and drug dealers, while these fucking morons run around thinking they deserve $50,000 a year because they're sucking oxygen. All right, enough of my shit. Ooh, man, where are we going? Yeah, Chin Music. He says, increased food cost, ooh, man. Beef is about to skyrocket again. Why is beef going to skyrocket? I know inflation's a big deal, Chin Music. Everyone knows. Everyone fucking feels it. That's why they can't go to Outback Steakhouse. 18 fucking bucks for a Big Mac meal deal? That's no deal. That's on the high end of things, as high as 18 bucks. Last time I drove by a Burger King menu, I looked at it pretty close. And I felt like I was being robbed just looking at it. I think they wanted $14 for a Whopper meal deal, king sized. Just unfucking believable. That is not, and that's fast food. That's food that is pre-cooked, pre-packaged, shipped in bags. Workers assemble them just like I did in high school. Wow. Okay, thank you, Chin Music. Beef's going to skyrocket. You bet. You bet, because they want you and me to eat bugs. Bugs. Wow, bugs. Unbelievable. Bugs. Okay, Mr. Uman, I know we got a few minutes and a few more questions. Name redacted says only money changers can make it now. In other words, people who tell us what is and isn't currency. What it is and isn't truth. How about they're the ones making it too? Who decides what is true and what isn't? Get this, folks. The lies are having to get bigger and bigger for government. And they're especially having to get bigger and bigger to cover fat ass Fanny's ass. That's right, fat ass Fanny Willis, prosecutor, district attorney in Fulton County, Georgia. A big giant whoops. I don't know if she's going to make it. Her lies have to be tremendous now to get out of the trouble she's in. Her boy toy, Nathan Wade, get this. He had a garage door opener to Fannie Willis's house. Apparently, Nathan Wade allegedly had sex with Fannie Fat-Ass Willis at her law office before she was district attorney, which means she's had an ongoing and pervasive sexual relationship with another attorney who happened to also be a married man prior to her giving him all kinds of contractual goodies and putting him to work and telling him to attack Trump. Crazy stuff. According to the Trump co-defendant's attorney, he says that Terrence Bradley previously gave her, the attorney, this information having to do with the relationship between these Democrats. You see, if it wasn't for free speech and free media access, that's right, folks, you have to have free speech. You have to be able to publish, write, print, electronically transfer facts that are going to make Democrats and scumbag socialists very uncomfortable. Fat-ass Fanny and her boy toy need to be arrested right now for perjury, and more perjury. That is lying to the court, lying under oath, lying to investigators, trying to hide their story, folks, thinking that the media was going to hide, and the media is, except right-wing free speech, alternative press is all over them. They're fucking liars. They've been caught. They need to be arrested. And speaking of liars, thank you, Mr. Uman. 1 second, I'll get right there. Speaking of liars, folks, Georgia residents are calling the woke shithole mayor of Athens, Georgia. This is their quote: "You're a liar. You have blood on your hands," because the mayor has lied about the role. He's lied, folks. He lies and lies and lies, right? About the role in the illegal alien murder of a college student. And this is good that people are standing up. People are speaking loudly, freely, and courageously. That's why they want us silenced, right? In this shithole of a town run by a woke Democrat mayor, where an illegal alien murdered a college student. And the government tries hiding it. They try covering it up. They try glad-handing it. Everything, folks. They want to silence objection to their criminal behavior. They want to silence criticisms. Speak up. Say something. Take part in what's going on. Folks, it's up to us at this point. It's now our country to lose or to recover. All right, Mr. Uman, what do we got? Who is up? We're running out of time. Just the last few seconds. Big Country says, low cattle count. Everybody dumped, couldn't afford to feed them. Well, can't afford to feed the cattle. Then what you do is sell the cattle to slaughterhouses, butchers, and they turn them into food. So we should have had a glut of beef on the market, which means cheaper beef. And maybe we've been having cheaper beef, I guess is what the point is, and expect it now to go up. And I tell you what, Big Country, happens quite often. I've seen this up and down beef price thing for the last 20 years, actually my whole life. Expect more. Expect more. And nice Lord Humongous avatar, by the way. All right, Mr. Uman, one more, and then I'm going to call it quits for the day and the night. Going to do some rest and recovery. And it's chin music. He says the gay coffee boy Stelter, that would be Brian Potato Head Stelter, is running for a school board in New Jersey. No way the Sopranos put up with that shit. Well, he's running as a Republican, no less. Or he ran as a Republican. Lie, and fucking lie some more. The gay coffee boy. He's not even qualified to work at a Panera Bread or a Starbucks. Sheesh. Anyways, thank you, Chin Music. Thank you, Mr. Uman. I'm going to check out. Chance favors the prepared mind. Get your food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. Get it together, get a plan, and prep to action. Get out there, say something, do something, and get ready. Torches and pitchforks are on their way.